Hello! How are y'all doing today? I had a great, awesome day. Oh my goodness, let me tell you, okay? It was a really good day. I pray that you had a beautiful day, an awesome day as well. We are getting ready to get into it. We getting ready to get into it. What? We getting ready to get into a read. So we're going to be right back. And then we are going to go ahead and get started. Guys, we're going to be reading the Bible Made Easy, Women of the Bible, the Smart Guide to the Bible series. We are still in chapter 16. I'm going to start off with why learn about women of the Bible. This is in the very beginning. I said I would read this before I got started with each lesson. Okay, so the women of the Bible can show us how to live, what choices to make, and why these women face sticky problems and difficult situations just like we experience in real life, you know. So no matter where we are in our lives, we can gain encouragement and wisdom from these women. They struggled through every sort of difficulty, yet most endured and built their faith. Eve, for example, lived thousands of years ago, but we too have been tugged by temptation just like she was. Sarah lived 3,000 years ago, and yet as we read about her struggle to trust God, we can see our own struggles of faith. God had a purpose for each woman in the Bible, from Priscilla in her ministry to Mary in her motherhood of Jesus. God also has a purpose for each one of us. By studying the lives of the women in the Bible, we can know God, bring Him into every area of our lives, build our faith and character, and be led to His purpose. But what about the women who were not faithful to God? Can we learn anything from them? Sure we can. In fact, if we failed to look at why certain women rebelled against God and only paid attention to those who are held up as good role models, we would be missing out on so much as half of the wisdom that the Bible has to offer. There are blessings for faithfulness and there are consequences for disobedience. Both principles are important. So what we're going to be reading on today, again, we are in chapter 16. I think we have 2 more to do. So we are going to be reading on Lydia. So it says, "You go, girl," and it's Lydia. It's Acts chapter 16, verse 11 through 15. Lydia and other women are meeting by the riverside in the city of Philippi, and important city in Macedonia. Hope I'm saying that right. I'll spell it out in the below. These women worship God in the Jewish manner, even though, cannot read today, okay? Excuse me, guys. Even though they had no synagogue, 10 men are required to establish a temple. These faithful women lack the required 10 men. Despite the lack of the temple, the women always meet to worship and dream of building a temple. Paul comes looking for a gathering of the Jews in the area and finds these women. After explaining to them about Jesus being the Messiah, they believed in him. Because Lydia is so grateful for coming to know Christ, wonderful love and grace, she invites the apostle to her home to stay. From then on, she frequently has meetings in her home and generously shares the wealth God has given her to Christ's work. We know that Lydia is wealthy because she is a seller of purple fabric. Such a business made a person wealthy because only the rich could afford to buy such expensive fabrics. The purple color comes from a shellfish, just like the root of a plant. It's a rarity of the two sources made purple dye extraordinarily expensive back in the BC times. Like Lydia, when we truly appreciate what God has done through our salvation, we will want to be generous in other areas of our lives. Knowing God is generous in providing for all our needs, and knowing we can never outgive God, we can lavishly give to others. I like that. Amen. And then there's like a saying here. It says, who knows how many neighbors and friends Lydia welcomed into her home to meet Paul. All right, guys, I pray that you like that read today. I really did learn something in studying that about Lydia. Lydia challenged us to reflect on our role of being prepared for the moment, seeking something bigger than ourselves, and being willing to invite others to experience what we experienced in our walk with God, right? So I feel like she was very open to serving others and helping. Lydia has strong faith in the Lord. I mean, she immediately, right away, obeys and gets baptized. Lydia definitely has a servant's heart, like she does. God always has a plan for us and provides. We may not understand God's plan, but He has one. It's always better to serve than to be served. Focusing on loving others and helping others opens up a door for you in your life, making room for growth and change to happen while focusing on God and letting God work through you to help others helps you. Does that make sense, guys? So I can say that for me, just giving an example of serving others and helping others and putting yourself to the side, no matter what you may be going through, and then you helping someone can definitely help you. So when my husband died in 2018, I was completely devastated. And I'm going to make it short, guys. I know. And then when I start talking about my husband, I can go into talking forever and about a lot of stuff when I tell my testimony. Sometimes I can over talk, and I'm not really a talker, but when I start talking, guys, I start talking. So let's get back on the topic. But when my husband passed away in 2018, I definitely had to make a decision what I was going to do. I thought I was going to lose my mind. And so I started focusing on other things, focusing on how I could be a good mother, focusing on talking to myself, because I knew that I had to be a mom at the end of the day. I still had to raise my children. I still had to go to work. I still had to do life, even though I was in so much pain. So I just started making sure that I was helping others. I made sure that I was reaching out and seeing what I can do for others, keeping myself busy and my mind off of my experience. And in doing that, I was able to, and when I look back at it, I can't even tell y'all how I made it through, because it was nothing but the goodness of God. So I really hope that you guys like that read today. I love that read today. What am I about to say, you guys? You matter. Keep picking up your cross every day, choosing your walk with God to be first and not last. Keep putting Him first. And man, it's just going to be a great year. So until our next read, guys, stay blessed.